This must have been taking me years to research this because Ethan Klein's had months and he never found this AP article. Oh, wait, no. I just literally typed into Google Hassan AP article China, and this is what popped up. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Ethan's actually a fucking idiot.
I started a show a couple of years ago with my acquaintance, Hassan Piker. Now, to be clear, I knew about all these edgy and controversial jokes at the time we made the show together, because who am I to judge? He presents himself as someone like me, a left-leaning Democrat who supports basic things.
So I love that too. He's like, Hassan presents himself as a left-leaning Democrat, like me. It's like, bro, Hassan has literally always called himself a socialist. He has never said that he's a Democrat. Bernie Sanders, who's kind of like the spirit animal of this whole online progressive movement, he is not a Democrat. Sure, he utilizes the infrastructure that the Democratic Party has, but he doesn't consider himself a Democrat because he doesn't share the same beliefs that Democrats have. Like, Ethan is just he's so politically dumb. He's so uneducated on any of this stuff, but he really is like the perfect example of the Dunning-Kruger effect, where he thinks he's so intelligent and he's like almost like above politics, right? He's like, well, I was just assuming that Hassan's a regular Democrat, but it turns out he's a crazy commie trying to break down America. He's going to have to make the argument that Hassan is bad politically because interpersonally, Hassan really doesn't have any drama, right? Hassan's like a pretty normal kind of guy. Like, he likes to lift weights, play basketball, and stream. That's his life. He doesn't have interpersonal drama. Really, the issue is Ethan Klein doesn't agree with his politics because Hassan's politics makes Ethan Klein feel bad. That's the issue, though. He's going to have to try to attack Hassan on Hassan's politics, but he doesn't have good politics. Like, Ethan doesn't know enough about politics to be able to effectively do that.
That was until this happened. We were doing our regular show, and for the first time I noticed an inordinate amount of radical, hardcore leftists. I mean, I thought we were social democrats, not whatever this was. I think it's good that people can achieve success in the term monetary success. I mean, that's what that means, right? I do. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Because I see so many people in the chat saying no.
I don't know what y'all are tripping about. Like, what the fuck do you want?
What is the idea that
you guys
people
like
are
just
looking for?
You guys.
All right, so we're going to break out a debate bro term right now, but this is a classic Mott and Bailey, right? If he says, like, I'm a social democrat and all of these hardcore leftists are attacking me, and then he shows a clip of him defending himself, and in that clip, he's just saying, I don't think it's bad for people to be successful. So he's making it seem like they're attacking people for being successful. So Ethan's like, I just think it's fine if some people are successful, right? But is that really what he was getting criticized for? Or was he getting criticized for being a little bitch and freaking out when people were saying, like, I don't like capitalism. I don't like the profit motive. I think that people should have a stake in kind of the business that they're working in more than just being an employee that can get hired and fired at will. So this is like a classic debate tactic where he's like, shows himself saying something that is reasonable, right? People can just be successful if they want to be successful. Using that to paint the radical leftists that Hassan sent his way. He paints them as crazy.
You're watching a capitalist pig. Deal with it.
Yeah, Harrison Bergeron.
This happened.
If you're in a socialist country with multiple parties, and one of the parties is a capitalist party, what would you do if that party started gaining momentum?
The solution to that would always be education and offering more
Re-education?
Re-education, certainly, yeah. There should be an enforcement mechanism, and in that enforcement mechanism, I think like rehabilitation, which would include re-education as well.
If putting capitalists in re-education camps isn't disturbing enough, I started to notice that Hassan was carrying a lot of water for communist states' war crimes and genocides.
Okay, so he's trying to paint Hassan as some kind of like pro-China, basically like a red fascist, right? Someone who is communist on the surface, but uses like authoritarian methods and also just kind of like fascist ideals as well to keep people in line. So when Hassan says, oh, I think people should be educated about like the evils of capitalism, Ethan's like, oh, re-education? Would you say re-education? And then obviously he goes to the re-education camps too. And then now he's going to make the case that Hassan is pro-China and pro-Russia. Hassan is not really pro-China and he's not really pro-Russia. He's definitely anti a lot of what America does on the global stage, which is completely fine. But at the end of the day, Hassan is not a Chinese streamer. He is not a Russian streamer. He is not a citizen of those countries. He's a citizen of America. He has a sphere of influence in America. He can actually affect American politics. When it comes to America, like, Hassan's spot on. I also think Hassan is pretty spot on with China and Russia, but we'll see what Ethan's examples are.
Territory, bitch. That's what I call Crimea. I call it Crimea River, a Russian river.
Okay, so once again, like, Ethan isn't actually having any substance. He's not getting any substance from Hassan. He's just taking a joke that Hassan was saying, where Hassan says, Crimea River, which was, like, Hassan saying that wasn't funny, but when Ethan brought on his Ukrainian employee to attack Hassan on that, and she's like, and he just kept going, Crimea River, ho, ho, ho. That was funny, and that's like, stuck in my psyche now. But anyway, like, he doesn't actually pick out anything where Hassan's like, no, Russia annexing Crimea was good. Simply because that doesn't exist. Like, Hassan makes the argument that Crimea is distinct from the rest of Ukraine, and there is a historical reason for that. Like, Crimea was historically a separate region from Ukraine underneath the Soviet Union, and when the Soviet Union broke up, Crimea was a part of Ukraine, but they're not, like, historically tied together. Based off of that, Hassan has different reasons for supporting Ukraine's independence from Russia and supporting the people of Crimea's decision to vote for Russia, to vote to be annexed by Russia, basically. And obviously, Crimea being annexed by Russia, like, that was not done purely of their own free will. There were definitely coercive methods that Russia used, displacing the native people of Crimea, having military bases in Crimea, making them do a referendum underneath, like, military duress. All of those are ways that Russia was able to essentially colonize Crimea and add it back into the nation state. However, like, Ethan's not going to talk about that. He's just going to be like, oh, Crimea is part of Ukraine, and Hassan doesn't care about Crimea being annexed by Russia as much as he cares about Ukraine, so Hassan is bad because of that. Once again, like, very dumbed down political analysis from Ethan, and he doesn't even have, like, an actual reason of Hassan explaining his thoughts on Crimea. It's just Hassan making fun of people that are, like, harassing him in his chat, basically. Crimea River, Crimea River.
Tibet was literally a fucking feudal slave mandate, like,
So
autonomous zone.
China did them a favor.
That was one. I mean, in America, when I say something like this, people get very upset. You know, we talk about the Dalai Lama saying "suck my tongue" or whatever, but, like, that's not far from the norm in fucking normal Tibetan existence before the Communist Party came in and
So
took
China
over.
unilaterally took over Tibet.
Like,
Well,
these are
their culture. They basically are trying to, homogenize the culture.
if your culture.
They're trying to spoil the religion and the identity.
The part of
and they did them
feudal
a favor.
warlords and slavery, abolishing that. Yes, I do think that is good.
No, China did them a favor.
This is a good way to describe Taiwan as well. The American federal government going into the fucking South and killing, unfortunately not all of them, but a decent amount of slavers and defenders of slavery. This is violent retribution from a powerful federal government
Tibet was a separatist.
that squashed, okay?
Tibet is the South in the Civil War.
Yes.
And most disturbingly, a complete whitewashing of the Chinese genocide against their Muslim minority group, the Uyghurs.
Really,
Don't they have Uyghur death camps? Is that?
it's not a death camp. They were re-education camps, and they are no longer in operation.
Is that
according
true?
to the Associated Press?
Okay. I saw this
But, yeah,
crazy
they're-
documentary, and I don't know. I don't know.
So Ethan basically is like, oh yeah, they're doing death camps, they're doing organ harvesting, and Hassan kind of, like, laughs it off. It's like, well, like, even if there is organs on the black market in China, it's not like a widespread government-run organization. And Hassan is also like, there's no death camps, right? And then Hassan says that the AP, the Associated Press, wrote an article on the camps closing down. And Ethan's like, well, this article seemingly doesn't exist. And actually, all AP articles say the exact opposite. So this is literally a video called Hassan Reacts to AP Article on China and Uyghurs. I wonder if there's going to be an AP article where Hassan reacts to it. Oh my god, let's find out.
I said there was a cultural genocide in Xinjiang, and I do still think that there is one in the form of re-education camps, mass surveillance, and gross human rights violations. My perspective on that has still not changed.
Wait, what? What? Wait a second. This must have been taking me years to research this because Ethan Klein's had months and he never found this AP article. Oh wait, no. I just literally typed into Google Hassan AP article China, and this is what popped up. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Ethan's actually a fucking idiot.
It was exaggerated to a degree where people were talking about fucking organ harvesting and shit like that.
Bro, he literally calls out the fucking organ harvesting that Ethan Klein repeats in the Leftovers episode. So Hassan has, like, you just fucking search in the key terms that Ethan has, and it's like AP article, Hassan acknowledging the genocide that's happening, and Hassan reacting to this thing and like disproving the claims that Ethan was pushing on the fucking documentary that he watched. It's like, you can't make this shit up. There's literally a video that in the first 5 seconds of the video disproves everything Ethan said, and it took like him a month to do.
Is he defending China's genocide of their Muslim population? How does this even make sense? It only makes sense if A, he's being paid, or B, he has the political complexities of a 5-year-old. I know America bad is a meme that people laugh at online, but with Hassan, this does actually seem to be the beginning and the end of his analysis.
2 principles. Let me explain to you. 2 principles that you should keep with you, coming from a person who's Turkish, okay? When you look at a situation in the Middle East, you look at what the local government is and who the Western forces are. Never align with the Western forces. So when I look at other countries, I look at the regional actor, whoever the regional power player is, and then I look at who is backed by the Western superpowers. That's a principle that you could take home with you. If you want to actually be moral, or if you want to be smart about the way you analyze other countries, that's one basic principle that you can take home with you. All of a sudden, magically, you are above on your foreign policy analysis. You're going to be better off than 90% of people that look at the situation.
Okay, so this is funny because, you know, sometimes you'll have to look up the full context of a clip to disprove what Ethan Klein is saying. But however, in this specific clip, Ethan was trying to make the point that Hassan says America bad, beginning and end of analysis. But Hassan says, yeah, if you go into any foreign policy situation and you can identify the local governance and then the Western imperialist governance, you're going to be better off than 90% of people. Like, that is 2 core ideas that you can take with you, and it will help you analyze any kind of situation. That's like an extremely nuanced approach to foreign policy.
I started to wonder if I had any idea who this guy actually is. And then this happened.
We have breaking news out of Israel this morning where Hamas has launched a surprise attack within Israel's borders overnight.
After the shock of October 7th, I noticed a huge increase of anti-Semitic comments from Hassan's stream and Discord, including from his head mod.
Do you care that your chat is calling me racist? Do you make any attempt to modify?
I have not looked at my chat.
Moderate that at all?
I have not looked at my chat at all, but you
I
have
just
to
opened it, but don't you have moderators? Do you care at all about what your audience says about me?
There's 32,000.
Once again, like, Ethan will say something and then shift and shift and shift until you don't even know what you're talking about. So Ethan starts off this segment by saying, like, I notice a lot of people in Hassan's chat and Discord calling me anti-Semitic things. And now in this conversation with Hassan, Ethan says, are you concerned at all that your chat is calling me racist? So it's like, is Ethan Klein getting called racist a rise in anti-Semitism at this point? Or is it just Ethan saying things that he was kind of indoctrinated to say, growing up believing in Israel and then living in Israel, and now people are calling him out for those things that he was indoctrinated for, and instead of taking a critical look at himself, he just feels bad because he feels personally attacked by these. Instead of having, like, being introspective at all, he's just like, can you ban your chat for making me feel bad? Because it's a little anti-Semitic of them.
People in here right now.
I'm just trying to tell you guys how it feels. And I'm fucking shocked that you don't care that people in your chat are saying, who the fuck is this child, cold, arrogant, kind as fuck.
I love you, but there's only so much I can do.
How can you be surprised when your Discord is literally full of fucking
Ethan, I love you, but there's only so much I can do if you're making that argument. You know that, right? Like
Hassan's chat had been...
We can read through these comments, but nothing in this is actually anti-Semitic. This is also Discord, and it looks like maybe it's from the same like comment thread, but it looks like it's stitched together too. So it's a little bit weird. Like you can't find a single anti-Semitic comment in all of Hassan's community. But we also have to keep in mind, if Ethan gets called a Zionist, that is anti-Semitic in his mind. So we have to respect his feelings on that one, right, guys?
Calling me a Zionist, baby-killing genocider. Maybe it is unreasonable that I'm asking him to moderate his chat for a friend.
We can read through that. I did earlier. Nothing's anti-Semitic. Nothing's even bad. Like they're talking about some kind of video and how a video isn't bad. Like once again, there's no context there. Ethan just flashes it up on the screen like it's condemning of Hassan. But if you look into it more than 2 seconds, you're going to realize that it's just completely fine. Like it's nothing. Yeah, honestly, like this video is way more painful than I thought it was going to be.
He doesn't even know where I'm coming from because it's not something he would ever ask for.
And all these other content creators actually, you know, whipping their communities when their chat is going fucking absolutely bananas over random dumb shit and bringing my name up for no fucking reason. That you were just allowing that shit to run rampant in your chat, and I thought that was fucked up.
Okay, so like it's like Hassan's not against chat moderation. He's just saying if you say racist things, people are going to call you racist, right? That's completely different from being against chat moderation altogether. I mean, Ethan should know about chat moderation, right? Like he's twisting himself into all of these circles to try to make Hassan look bad. And at the end of the day, it's just him falling flat on his face. Really is like the emperor's new clothes. Like he has created this bubble for himself where all of his producers, all of his fan base now suck him off. They kiss his ass. They tell him how pretty he is and like what a good boy he is. And this content Nuke's going to blow everyone's socks off. But then he puts it out there for all the world to see and people are just ridiculing him for it.